What's up, Silver and Black Nation? The Bat Fry, Kenny Fry here, and welcome to the Silver and Black Lair. On this episode, I will be recapping the Raiders' 20-16 win over the Cleveland Browns, and I'll give you my thoughts and opinions as to why the Raiders were able to pull that win out, and we'll take a look at some stats and game recap and stuff like that. So that and whatever comments and questions you guys want to throw out there, go ahead and do that, and I will post them and we'll talk about them. And I'll return in 1 minute. What's up, Silver and Black Nation? Welcome to the Silver and Black Lair. I'm your host, the Bat Fry, Kenny Fry, and it's a Victory Monday. Raiders! There we go. Absolutely. Victory Mondays are the best kind of Mondays. So let's soak it up, soak it in before we move on to the next one. Let's enjoy this one. And it was a nice win. It's a nice team win. That's what I'll go with there. So before we get things started, I'm going to go ahead and give a shout out to our sponsor here at Out of the Box Sports Entertainment. That is, of course, the one, the only, Jason Fine, attorney Big Al. You reach Big Al at 1-800-HURT-123. That's 1-800-HURT-123. Jason Fine specializes in motor vehicle accidents, slip and falls, workman's comp, and personal injury claims. He has 3 office locations conveniently located throughout Pennsylvania and in New Jersey. His office in New Jersey is located in Cherry Hill on 3 Greensward Lane. The phone number there is 856-209-5258. And in Pennsylvania, he has offices located in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, located on 500 Grant Street, Suite 2900. The phone number there is 412-365-8151. And in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, the offices are located at 1628 JFK Boulevard, Suite 2120. The phone number there is 267-888-2980. That's Jason Fine, attorney Big Al. All right. Back to the show. Got a couple comments here to toss out, and we got the mayor of Las Vegas reaching out here. The one, the only, Rob Hefner. What's up, Rob? His defense stepped up at the end to give the Silver and Black the W. Absolutely. Browns fans looked pissed. I'll tell you what, the one thing, there was a lot of Browns fans there. There was absolutely a lot of Browns fans there, which is to be expected. Raider Nation, did show out last week, and we laid the goose egg for him. So, the Raider team did not show up. This week, it was a split, basically a split. You had to go 50-50, I would say. A lot of brown or orange, whatever the hell that color is, in the stands. And, the Browns fans, they travel well to begin with, and they were there in droves. And, they went home very, very unhappy, which is what we like. We like that. The Raider fans got loud, got proud when needed. And, I got to see a clip of the pregame. I'm not sure who it was. I think I don't know if it was Eric Allen was one of the people talking, but they're talking about the Raiders sending the Browns fans back home to Cleveland and stuff. And there was a ton of boos. And I tell you what, it was really, really loud. I was kind of surprised. But then, watching throughout the game, hearing the reactions, if I had to guess, I'd probably say it's close to 50-50, maybe a slight edge to the Las Vegas Raiders fans, the Silver and Black Nation. But again, it's to be expected. They're in Las Vegas. It is what it is, and it's got to kind of deal with that now, I guess. That's just how it's going to roll. And it's funny, You say that, especially with football. I guess hockey's a different animal. But whenever I watch a Las Vegas Golden Knights game, which is the only time I do watch Las Vegas Golden Knights is when my LA Kings are playing against them. But it's pretty well, one sided. It's Golden Knights fans. It's not a split between Kings and Golden Knights fans or whatever. So again, like I said, hockey's a different animal. Hockey's not as big of a sport as football is. So I guess you can't really compare it. But yeah, they don't have the issues that the Raiders do, and that I'm going to assume that the Athletics are going to have when the Athletics make their way to Las Vegas here within the next few years, once there's the stadium's all built and this, that, and the other. But all right, so let's get to it real quick. I'm going to go ahead and go over the scoring summary here real quick before I get too far into it. So scoring summary, Browns jumped out real quick. They had a 10-0 lead pretty quick there in the first quarter. Blake Whitehart had a 1-yard pass from Deshaun Watson. Watson looked good in that first drive. He was very accurate. It was moving well in the pocket. I ain't gonna lie, I was very nervous. Very, very nervous. Dustin Hopkins hit a 56-yard field goal with only 35 seconds left or so in the first half of 35 seconds, I think it was. Moving to the second quarter, Raiders down for 10-0 after one. And with all the inactives in this game, you could not be feeling good if you were a Raider fan being down 10-0 after one. No Devontae Adams, no Michael Mayer, which Michael Mayer, again, I'm disappointed. I feel like the Raiders should be passing the ball more to Michael Mayer, looking for him more. They don't. They use him mainly as a blocking tight end, and they'll slip him out every once in a while. They don't really look his way all that often. I feel like they should be. And but anyway, no Thayer Mumford at tackle. Again, big loss or not, I'm not really sure. I'm not sure what Thayer Mumford is. He hasn't been playing terrific. Nobody on the offensive line has been playing all that great. Dylan Parham's probably been our best offensive lineman so far. And he hasn't been playing bad. He's been playing pretty decent. But again, a couple key offensive guys out. Looking at the defensive side, no Max Crosby. So your two biggest stars on the team, your biggest offensive star, Devontae Adams, out for the game. Your biggest defensive star, your biggest star on your team, one of the biggest stars in the league, as well as Devontae Adams, Max Crosby, also out for this game. So, things are already not looking up for the Raiders. Then falling down 10-0 real quick. Doom and gloom. It had to be doom and gloom for your typical Raider fan. It's hard to stay positive, especially after what we saw from them last week. So moving ahead to the second quarter, Trey Tucker gets us on the board with a 3-yard touchdown run. A nice little, I guess, I don't know what you call it, end around sweep, whatever you want to call it. It looked like they were getting a little bit creative now with some play calling. So kudos there. To the play calling, starting to get a little bit more creative with it, which is something I thought we were going to see a lot more of this season. Was the sweeps, the toss sweeps, the jet sweeps, whatever. It's something that Brock Bowers did a good bit of in Georgia. Trey Tucker with his speed, DJ Turner as well, who also scored a touchdown this game. I'll get to here in a little bit. I thought we would see a lot more jet sweeps, reverses or whatever you want to call them, end arounds. It's again all the same kind of thing, different blocking, but they all basically lead to the same spot. So that puts us at 10-7. Daniel Carlson evens us out there with a 52-yard field goal, makes it 10-10 at half. Moving along to the third quarter. Let's say looking at halftime as a Raider fan, you weathered the storm, okay? You come back, score 10 unanswered points. You're feeling good. You are feeling good. All right, defense doesn't look that bad. You were a little bit nervous after early on. It seemed like the Browns were really controlling the ball. They were moving the ball a lot. I think that first quarter, 15 minutes first quarter, I think they had the ball. Jesus, I don't know, 12 minutes, 13 minutes or so. That's what it felt like anyway. I'm pretty sure. I don't have the exact numbers, but I think if you go back and look at it, it was something pretty close to that. So you had to be nervous after the first quarter. 10-0, Browns controlling the clock, moving the ball at will. And the Raiders defense starts to stiffen up a little bit. We get those 10 points back in the second quarter. So basically, we go into halftime even again. It's 0-0. 10-10 is your 0-0. Come out in the third quarter. Carlson with another field goal. They will move the ball downfield. We'll take the points, take the field goal. And a little bit later in that quarter, DJ Turner, again, another like jet sweep or whatever you want to call it, 18-yard touchdown and a beautiful run, some nice blocking on the outside. Who was it? It was, I want to say Trey Tucker, running his guy, out of bounds and stuff. That's absolutely great job blocking on the outside. And that's stuff that you need. You need guys like that. We've seen receivers blocking out there today. We've seen DJ Turner making some nice blocks and some runs. Like I just said, Trey Tucker. Who else? I've seen somebody else. Jacoby Myers as well, making some nice blocks out there. The wide receivers out there blocking and looking awesome doing it. You like to see that stuff. That's good teamwork. That's good stuff there. So that puts us up 20-10. Raiders feeling good going into the fourth quarter. Browns, little mini comeback. Zamir White has an issue with the dropsies. Fumbles the ball. A nice scoop and score there for the Browns defense. Rodney McLeod Jr., 25-yard fumble return for a touchdown. A missed PAT by Dustin Hopkins. Gives the Raiders a 4-point lead. And you're feeling okay if you're a Raider fan, but you're almost waiting for that foot to drop. You're waiting for that other foot to drop. It's just, you don't have the confidence in this team yet to finish a game, and you're waiting for the inevitable, and it didn't happen. It did not come. The Raider defense stiffened up last series there. Deshaun Watson moving the team downfield, and you had Charles Snowden coming up huge. A huge pass deflection first off. A huge pass deflection, and a sack there to basically end the game. A sack of Deshaun Watson. The Raiders were able to get to him 3 times. Charles Snowden had a sack. Janarius Robinson, Christian Wilkinson each had a half sack. And Isaiah Polamau, who got his first start, a fan favorite. Everybody loves Isaiah Polamau. He's with the Raiders for a couple seasons now. He got his first start. He had 6 tackles, 4 solo tackles, a sack, and a pass defense. Great job by him. Charles Snowden, like I said, a sack there at the end, a pass defense as well. That was a tip ball at the line of scrimmage. Batted ball, looking like Max Crosby there. Great job by that defense. You just can't say enough about it. Being down, Divine Diablo, who did not play last week either. Didn't expect him to play this week. Being down him, being down Max Crosby, your heartbeat, your heart of your defense. And that's just huge in itself. To see those guys step up, the Charles Snowden, Janarius Robinson, Christian Wilkins, Adam Butler had a good game there up the middle as well. Raiders did an okay job at the run defense. Held the Browns to under 100 yards rushing, which is a fantastic, especially compared to what the Raiders have been giving up all season. And our rushing attack offensively, able to get over 100 yards rushing, 150 plus yards rushing. Awesome. So looking at some key stats here. Minshew, 14 of 24 passing, 130 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions though. He did take 2 sacks. He didn't look bad. He looked all right. He made some nice passes downfield. Took some chances. The Raiders did get some nice chunk plays through the run game and a couple through the pass game. Still, there were some play calls that I just didn't like. Some of the screens and stuff like that. Especially 3rd and 15. I can't remember what quarter it was. I don't remember what quarter it was, but I believe it was like a 3rd and 15 and throwing a screen pass that just got blown up. It's like what do they do? 3rd and 15. You're probably looking at a rush upfield anyway because it's an obvious passing down, and then you throw something like that, and they're all over it. They're all over it. And got nothing. You might as well. If you're going to pass the ball 3rd and 15, which you should pass the ball. Again, depending on where you're at in the field and where you're at in the game and stuff like that. But if you're going to pass the ball on 3rd and 15, maybe take a shot downfield. Something, or maybe even a quick slant. See if you can get one of your playmakers some open field on a slant or something like that. is something. But a screen pass, I think it was a wide receiver screen. Absolutely ugly play call, and yeah, it's just. But it wasn't all bad. It wasn't all bad offensively. Like I said, they didn't score a whole lot of points, but over 150 yards rushing, no interceptions. They did have the one turnover with the fumble. We'll take that. So you're looking at Alexander Madison, 5 rushes for 60 yards, 12 yards per rush, is long of 24. Again, big chunk runs. He looked very good. Madison looked very good. Zamir White grinding away, 17 carries, 50 yards. Not great. 2.9 yards per rush. He did have that one run, which ended up being as long of 17 yards, where I thought he was going to break it. Almost reminded me of that Josh Jacobs run from a couple years ago. What was it, overtime against the Sea Chickens? I think it was. Was it the Seacocks? I think it was. Overtime was, was that like a 90-yard run, whatever it was. Just broke it up the middle, and he was gone. I thought for a second there, it kind of looked like that. He broke it off. I think it was the right side. Broke a tackle. One or two guys missed, and he started rolling. And I thought he was going to be gone, but he got tackled. I don't know who got him. It was by a shoelace, 17 yards downfield. So that was a nice carry for Zamir White. Again, the fumble though, it's going to cost the kid some snaps, which is a shame because I really like Zamir White. I think there is something there, so we can figure out what to really get him blocking wise. What's the run scheme that's going to fit him the best? If it's not the zone run scheme, is it going to be the power blocking? A power run scheme? I don't know. I don't know. But so far it has not looked good, and that it could be that the front guys aren't blocking the zone scheme well. I'm not sure. I'm not really sure. I know the zone run it takes a little bit of patience, and a young running back maybe it takes a little bit of time to learn that patience. So we'll have to wait and see. But the fumbles have to stop. He's going to start losing snaps to Madison, and guys like Amir Abdullah and stuff like that. So got another comment here. Joel Sullivan from the Sully Squad. Be sure to check Joe out tonight, 6 p.m. with the Sully Squad. They'll be talking Phillies, I'm sure. Philadelphia sports. So they'll be talking Phillies playoffs coming up here very soon. I'm not sure. Do the Phillies have a first round bye? I didn't really get a chance to look at the seeding yet because I'm all frazzled and on edge here with the Mets, which I'll be live tomorrow, 10 a.m. Hopefully talking about Mets in the wild card. And hopefully not talking about the Mets going home back to New York. So we'll see what happens there. But I didn't really get a chance to look at the seeding. But I think maybe the Phillies have a first round bye here. Yeah, I think they do. I think it would be it's Milwaukee, San Diego, and it'd be the Mets, Braves, or Mets, Diamondbacks. So yeah, the Phillies do have a first round bye. That's right. Okay, so did you see that? I'm a thinking man. But yeah, so at the end there, and also the Sully Squad, I'm sure we'll be talking Eagles. A tough loss for the Eagles yesterday to the Buccaneers. They just can't seem to beat those Bucks. But you move on to the next one. That's all you can do. And yeah, so the Cleveland, they're able to move the ball downfield there. That final drive, I too was worried. Missing some of the key leadership there with no Max Crosby. Very nervous. Where's that next big play going to be? And that's one of the things when you lose your big guys, to injury or whatever. You look to them for the big play. You look for them to step up and make that big play to either end a drive or end a game or to like Devontae Adams to make the big play to maybe extend the game or get that big first down to extend the game, or Max Crosby get the sack to end the game, stuff like that. And so where's that going to come from? Who's going to make that play? And finally, the Browns offensive line, which, if you look back at it, they're not a very good offensive line. They're in shambles as well. And, for the most part, most of that game, you've seen Deshaun Watson running for his life a lot. He was running. He was absolutely under pressure, under duress a lot. Like I said, the Raiders did get 3 sacks in that game. And Charles Snowden showed up big there in that final drive, the last couple plays, getting that past the fence to the line of scrimmage, knocking that ball down. And then coming around the edge there, I think it was a stunt, actually, kind of off the guard, it looked like. I was watching it again this morning, that final play for the defense. It looked like he stunted around from the outside, around to the guard area, and it was just wide open for him. And he was able to run down Deshaun Watson. And with Watson rolling to his left, I believe it was, he had to kind of stop to turn his body to get rid of that ball. And that's basically what cost him, I think. I think if he's rolling out to his right, because he's a righty, he could have thrown that ball on the run. But because he's rolling out to his left, got to kind of turn that body, cock it, and throw. And that extra split second like that, just to maneuver your body into position to actually make an accurate throw, that cost him. Because it was a fourth down. I think, I don't know, it was fourth down, and I don't remember what the distance was. I don't know if it was fourth and short or not. But Charles Snowden was all over him. He had a terrific game. Elated. He was absolutely elated. Defense was on fire. But they came up really, really big. To fall down 10-0, and then to hold the Browns the rest of the way, basically to no points. The only other touchdown the Browns scored, the only points the Browns scored after that first quarter was a defensive score, a scoop and score, off of a fumble. So the Raiders defense in the next 3 quarters pitched a shutout. And like Joe says, he kind of got a little bit nervous as the Browns were able to move the ball downfield, fairly, I wouldn't say easily, but pretty well that last drive, and they came up big. All right, so back to stats. DJ Turner, he had 1 carry for 18 yards, a touchdown. Brock Bowers, 1 carry for 12 yards. Tyreek McAllister, 2 carries for 11 yards. He got some nice playing time with some injuries to the wide receivers. Trey Tucker, 1 carry for 3 yards, a touchdown. I feel like we're going to see more of that. We're going to see more wide receivers, Brock Bowers as well, if you want to call him a tight end hybrid, whatever you want to call him, getting the ball on handoffs more, just to kind of loosen the defense up for the regular running game. I think we're going to start seeing that a lot more. I would expect to see it, maybe 3 to 5 times a game. Even if there is success or is not success, just to let the defense know this is out here. We have this in our bag, and we're not afraid to use it. Even if it doesn't work this time, it may go for 50, 60 yards next time. And, hoping that, the next time the defense sees that setup, that they kind of key in on, Trey Tucker or Brock Bowers, and they leave an off tackle wide open for Zamir White or Alexander Mattson. Receiving wise, Jacoby Myers had a nice game, 5 catches for 49 yards. He was targeted 10 times. Trey Tucker, 5 catches, 41 yards. Harrison Bryant playing the role of Michael Mayer, 2 catches, 21 yards. Brock Bowers, 2 catches, 19 yards. So not super involved again. Brock Bowers, 2 games in a row. After he had that awesome game against Baltimore, where he was over, I guess he was at 98 yards, like 9 catches, 98 yards, whatever it was against Baltimore. The next 2 games, not really involved all that much. You have to figure the defense is keen on him a lot. And that's why I think we need to get our other tight ends, especially Michael Mayer, when he is back, a little bit more involved in the pass game to kind of free up Brock Bowers a little bit, to kind of remind the defense, hey, we have another tight end that can catch the ball. But it was good to see Harrison Bryant get a couple catches there, third string tight end. Defensively, Robert Spillane had a really good game. 12 tackles, 9 solo, 1 tackle for loss. Like I said earlier, Isaiah Palomau, 6 tackles, 4 solo, 1 sack, and 1 pass defense. Adam Butler, 6 tackles, 4 of those were solo, 1 tackle for loss. Charles Snowden, he had a sack and a pass defense, tackle for loss. Janarius Robinson had a half sack with Christian Wilkinson. Those guys each had a half sack on the same play. Trayvon Merrick, he had an interception. Amari Cooper had the ball separated from his body, got popped up. And Trayvon Merrick was the recipient of that gift from Amari Cooper. I wanted to write down who hit Coop, but I did not. I'm not sure who it was, if that was Palomau or not. I'm not sure. But anyway, Great job by the defense. Great job by the defense. And one of the things that really I was kind of keying on a little bit was how did Jack Jones respond? How does Jack Jones respond? A lot of spotlight was on him this past week after the business decisions remark by Antonio Pierce after last week's game, saying that some players he feels like made business decisions. So now the team was going to make some business decisions. That's hard to say. That is really hard to say. I don't know. I feel like I have false teeth in or something. I'm trying to say that. It's just not coming out right. But anyway, so I was kind of watching Jack Jones a little bit. And I thought he played very well. He played physical when it came to tackling. He was spotlighted a couple plays last week where he was less than eager to go step up and make a tackle. Not this week. This week he stepped in there, put his nose in there, made some nice tackles, or helped finish some tackles off, or even slowed some guys down. Sometimes you got to sacrifice the old body to slow somebody down until the cavalry gets there. And I thought he did a very good job. Much better than last week. And defensively, overall, a very, very good job by the Raiders. I just can't say it enough. Being down Max Crosby is nothing to sneeze at. I mean, that is your heartbeat of your defense. And they stepped it up. Real quick, so with Deshaun Watson, he's your big offensive threat there with the Browns. He was 24, 32, 176 yards, a touchdown, an interception. Rushing wise, 8 carries, 32 yards. So the Raiders did a decent job there. 8 carries, 32 yards, not bad for a guy that can easily light you up in the rushing game. You get a lot of pressure on him. That's very easily things can get very squirrely very quickly. Excuse me. The one guy I thought did not have a very good game was Luke Masterson. I did not think he had a very good game. Moving forward, I would, look to see if we can get somebody else. Maybe Tommy Eichenberg. See, get him some more reps in there. Get him some reps in there. I don't even know if he got in at all. But I just did not like the way Luke Masterson looked. Some missed tackles, some blown coverages. I just did not think he looked good. A couple of those missed tackles were key missed tackles that led to first downs. If Divine Diablo, who wasn't looking all that great either, to be honest with you, but he has looked much better than what Luke Masterson looked yesterday. But if Divine Diablo is going to be out long term, he has a concussion, and I want to say is it a flexor muscle or something like that, a flexor injury or something. But it was also concussion as well. He's missed the past 2 games. But if he's going to be out longer term, I would start looking maybe to get Tommy Eichenberg in there. Let's see what the kid can do, because Luke Masterson is not the answer. I don't think. I was kind of high on Luke Masterson. I'm really high on Divine Diablo. I like Divine Diablo a lot. I like Divine Diablo and Robert Spillane there in the middle. But Luke Masterson, I was kind of right there with him, but not so much after this past game. But everybody else on the defense, gold star, man. Gold star. Great job. And yeah, so looking at team stats here, Raiders were able to win the first down battle. They had 17 first downs. The Browns had 16. They had 9 pass first downs. The Raiders had 7 passing first downs. The Browns had 6 rushing first downs. The Raiders had 8 rushing first downs. And the Browns had 1 by penalty, and the Raiders had 2 by penalty. Third down efficiency, the Browns were 3 for 10. The Raiders were 4 for 12. So need to work on that third down efficiency for the silver and black defense. Great job. Plays, the Browns had 57 total plays. The Raiders had 55 total plays. Yards, the Browns went for 241 total yards. The Raiders 268 total yards. Not an offensive showcase by any stretch of the imagination. It wasn't an offensive explosion by anybody. But we'll take it. You take the win. No matter how you can get it. It's just win, baby. It's not, just win by a lot, or it's not, just win, by a ton of offensive yards. It's just win, baby. It doesn't matter if it's pretty, if it's ugly. It doesn't matter. As long as that dub goes in the column, we're good. Drives, the Browns had 9 drives, the Raiders had 11 drives. Yards per play, the Browns were at 4.2, the Raiders were at 4.9. Total passing yards, the Browns were at 149, the Raiders were at 116. The Browns were 24-32 passing, the Raiders 14-24. The Browns had 2 sacks, the Raiders had 3 team sacks. Rushing wise, the Browns 92 yards total rushing on 22 carries. The Raiders 152 yards total rushing on 29 carries. The average for the Browns were 4.2. The Raiders were at 5.2. Red zone, the Browns were 1 for 2. The Raiders were 2 for 3. Penalties, the Browns 5 for 38. The Raiders 6 for 49. And time of possession went to the Browns 30 minutes and 42 seconds, and the Raiders 29 minutes, 18 seconds. And that's pretty good, to be honest with you, especially the Browns controlled pretty much the whole first quarter. For the time of possession to be that close, pretty good job there by the Raiders. So looking at the a couple of different starters in the lineup this week. DJ Turner, I thought he played well. Kind of getting the nod this week because Devontae Adams being out, so he kind of gets the bump up as Jacoby Myers becomes your main target. So I thought he had a very good game. Trey Tucker, he's not a new starter or anything like that, but I thought he looked decent. Jackson Powers Johnson, that's what I'm trying to think. I couldn't think of where I wanted to go next. I thought he looked good. I thought he looked good. He didn't look great. He got his first start as a professional football player. A couple penalties out there. On Jackson Powers Johnson, he had the one hold call, which was a tough play. I was watching it, and it was a good call. It was a good hold. Got the arm on the outside. They're going to call that every time. But I mean, even it was kind of, he's going to get it up under the defender's body, kind of moves side a little bit. It comes up around, and it's just there for a second, and he tries to work it back under, and it's too late. The flag is already thrown. It's a tough one to take, but I get it. That's going to be called every single time. But again, it's a tough one to take. And I believe there was also a false start, I think, on him as well, down in our zone. I think we were backed up pretty good. We were backed up pretty good. And I think it ended up being like half the distance to the goal. And so it was like a 1-yard penalty or something like that. It was, it was what it was. Not really a big deal. Excuse me. But the holding call ended up bringing back a nice run. I think by Alexander Madison. I could be wrong who ran the ball, but I think that the holding call brought back a run, which was a bit of a bummer. But overall, I thought he played well. DJ Glaze, I didn't really focus on him too much. So I didn't get a chance to really see what he did, but for the most part, Minshew was under a decent amount of pressure, but he's been under a decent amount of pressure the whole season. He only went down twice. That's a credit a little bit of his mobility and also at him getting the ball out quick. There was the one play where Jesus Christmas, I thought it was going to be an interception. He rolled out right under pressure and he kind of flicked it. It was a really quick release on a pass. It was almost like a flick to Jacoby Myers. And you had the Brown defender right there. And the Browns defender's arm is coming out as it's coming out to reach for the ball. I guess his hand ends up hitting Jacoby Myers in the face. Jacoby Myers in the face mask. And Jacoby Myers makes the catch, turns it upfield for a couple more yards. Terrific concentration there by Jacoby. And Minshew got a little bit lucky there, I think. But sometimes you take luck. You'll take that. So overall, I'd say a really, really good team win. A good team win. And if I had to give the game ball to somebody, and which that's what I'm going to do for Raiders wins, I'm going to give game balls out. The game ball. I'm only going to give one ball out. The game ball is going to go to Charles Snowden. Terrific game. It had to be somebody from the defense. Terrific game by Charles Snowden. He was in the backfield a good bit of the day. I was going to say night because it was night where I'm at in Pennsylvania. when the game's going on, just about late afternoon, early evening. But in Las Vegas, it's afternoon. So, but anyway, Charles Stone, did a great job. He was in the backfield all afternoon. And, finally in that last drive there, getting the pass knocked down and also the sack. Great job there. Terrific job by Charles Snowden, and stepping up with in the absence of Max Crosby, and Malcolm Kuntz, Tyree Wilson. He looked okay, but I think we're going to see a nice rotation. I don't know if I expect Max Crosby back anytime soon. A high ankle sprain is nothing to really mess around with. Usually it's 4 weeks, or longer off before you're 100% healthy. And last week Max was, so they said he was playing at like 75, 80%, and which is still better in most defensive ends. But when we want Max out there, we want Max out there at 100%. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with next week's injury report, if Max will be out, and what's going to happen with Devontae's hamstring as well, and where Michael Mayer is with his personal issues. I'm not really sure what's going on there, but we'll have to wait and see. Great team win, and so that's all I have for today with this. I was just doing a recap. I'm gonna go ahead and do the next show. I'm gonna do on Thursday morning, 10 a.m. I'll be doing the Silver and Black Lair Raiders, and I'll be doing a look ahead to the Broncos, to the Donkeys, to the Broncos, whatever you want to call them, the Ponies. I'll be looking ahead to that. And I've said it, back when I used to do the show with Rob, Vegas Rob, who was the Las Vegas sports scene. I said, I don't care if the Raiders win 2 games all season, as long as they're against the Broncos, I'll be happy. And of course, I was lying. I would not be happy, but I'll be a little bit happy just because it was against the Broncos. But I want to see the Raiders win more than 2 damn games. So we had too many seasons like that over the past 20 plus seasons. So I'll be live again Thursday to look at the game coming up here this upcoming week against the Denver Broncos. And so that's all I have for today. Thank you for everybody that has checked the show out. I appreciate it very much. Just to let you know, you can check me out on X at SB_Lair_OOTBE. Once again, that's at SB_Lair, LAIR_OOTBE. That's on X. On YouTube, you can check me out at the Batcave_OOTBSE. Once again, on YouTube, it's at the Batcave_OOTBSE on YouTube. And more importantly, be sure to check out all of our shows at Out of the Box Sports on X, YouTube, and Facebook. And the handle's always the same, at OOTBox Sports. That's at OOTBox Sports on X and YouTube, and also on Facebook. So be sure to check it out. Give us a like, a follow, a subscribe, hit that notification bell. Please, we'll appreciate it. Every follower we get, we appreciate every subscriber we get. Very much appreciated. We have a lot to offer here at Out of the Box Sports Entertainment. And if you're a fan of another team in another sport and we don't cover it here, give us a holler. Give us a holler. If you're interested in podcasting and covering that team, we'll have you on. We'll get you rolling with a show. If you want to be a co-host with me for a show or whatever, give me a holler. I'll have you on. We'll talk some Raiders or whatever. Life, love, Raiders. Who knows? But anyway, I'm getting out of sync here. All right. So again, that's all I have for today. I'll be live tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. with the Batcave. Like I said, a special day, not a special time, but a special day. Hopefully I'll be talking about the Mets going into the wild card playoffs as they play a doubleheader this afternoon. Unfortunately, it's this afternoon of working night shift. That doesn't really work for Kenny. I wish they would take me into consideration, but they do not. They don't care that I work night shift and I can't watch these 1 p.m. games. But anyway, the Mets need to win 1 game today against the doubleheader one game of the doubleheader versus the Braves. I need to win one of those games to clinch a playoff spot, and the same goes for the Braves. They need to win one of these games in the doubleheader to clinch their playoff spot. If the Mets sweep the Braves are out, and the Diamondbacks are in. If the Braves sweep the Mets today, the Braves are in, Diamondbacks are in, and the Mets are out. So a couple different scenarios there. So basically, the Diamondbacks at home in Arizona or wherever the hell they were before this, sitting and waiting. See what happens today. So, all right. Thank you, everybody, for checking the show out. I appreciate it. And I will see you either tomorrow morning with the Batcave talking New York Mets baseball, or I'll see you this Thursday, 10 a.m., as I look ahead to the Broncos. See you guys later, and just win, baby.